When a family is readjusting to life after bereavement, 5 months might seem like a lifetime or a blink of an eye. Over the past few months, Kelly Clarkson's life has been characterized by quiet times at home, hushed chats before bed, and her children's delicate emotional transitions following the death of their father, rather than by stage lights, chart rankings, or standing ovations. Clarkson has been subtly candid in recent weeks about how her 2 kids are handling the loss of their father, Brandon Blackstock. She didn't use theatrical or prepared language. They serve as a reminder that every prominent figure is a parent trying their hardest during the most private of times. They were unvarnished, maternal, and incredibly real. A loss that turned everything around the entertainment industry was quietly affected by the news of Brandon Blackstock's death, following a protracted and private struggle with sickness. But it wasn't the headlines that made Kelly Clarkson's world rock. Rather, it was the 2 young people at its core, her 11-year-old daughter River Rose and her 9-year-old son Remington Remy. For kids, death doesn't come easily. Routines are disrupted, security is reshaped, and questions that don't always have solutions are introduced. Clarkson has never acted like that. Rather, she has emphasized presence, honesty, and most importantly, intimacy. "We're taking each day as it comes." Clarkson revealed that her kids are doing okay, considering everything, in a rare and heartfelt update. That qualification is important. Grief is acknowledged without being minimized, and vulnerability is acknowledged without being denied. She clarified, "They have their moments. And I do too." Instead of hastening her kids' recovery, or covering up the suffering with artificial optimism, Clarkson has made the much more potent decision to provide them permission. Permission to be depressed. Permission to pose challenging queries. Permission to publicly miss their father. In the Clarkson home, talking about grief is not taboo. Rather, it is a common language. Tearful nights and time spent together. Clarkson's description of how her home's nights have altered was among the most heartwarming. Once a straightforward ritual, bedtime has evolved into a holy space. She remarked, "Some nights, they just want to be close. So, all of us, kids, dogs, and everyone else, pile into my bed. It's not glitzy, it's not flawless for Instagram. However, it is healing." Conversations about life, recollections of their father, and worries that only come to the surface in the dark occur spontaneously during those times. Clarkson spends more time listening than talking. When she can, she responds truthfully. She holds them when she is unable to. For her kids, presence is more important than explanations when it comes to safety. Fearlessly remembering their father, helping children grieve a parent without confusion, bitterness, or emotional conflict is one of the most challenging tasks for any divorced parent following a loss. Clarkson has done this on purpose. She has encouraged her children to openly discuss their father, to keep him in mind, to chuckle at recollections, to shed tears as necessary. She has hinted that love cannot be erased, and there ought not to be. Clarkson has given River and Remy something invaluable by respecting their father's role in their lives, the ability to grieve without feeling guilty. Silence does not equate to strength. Kelly Clarkson has a long history of being emotionally honest in all aspects of her life, including her music and talk show. The reason songs like "Because of You" and "Piece by Piece" have such resonance is because they were never intended to conceal suffering. Her parenting is now guided by the same emotional reality. She doesn't act as like she knows everything. She shows her kids that she is not ashamed to cry. Rather, she exemplifies resilience by experiencing intensely and moving ahead in spite of it. On other days, the sadness strikes suddenly. A radio song, a significant achievement, one of the memories. For herself and her children, Clarkson makes time for those moments. She is aware that healing is not a straight line. Tiny pleasures, carefully guarded notwithstanding the loss. Clarkson has made it her mission to maintain happiness in her kids' lives, not as a diversion, but as a lifeline. Walks with the family, skating on ice, days at the beach, movie evenings, laughing at absurd jokes. These experiences coexist with loss, they do not take its place. According to a family insider, she wants them to know it's okay to still be happy. They can still laugh even if they love their dad. Clarkson has exceptional emotional intelligence in navigating this difficult balance. Kelly Clarkson is a mother first, always professional. She still performs, records, and hosts, but her priorities are quite clear. Her children's emotional needs are the center of everything. Her schedule has changed. Opportunities were turned down, slowed down when required. She has essentially stated, "My job right now is to be their safe place." And that decision speaks loudly in a world that frequently prioritizes production over presence. What grief has taught her loss transforms a person. It has helped Clarkson better grasp what is important. She has talked about how mourning reduces life to its most basic components: honesty, love, and connection. Only what is genuine remains when the noise is eliminated. In addition to helping her kids get through this difficult time, Clarkson has learned to show herself mercy. There are days that are heavy. There are days when I feel optimistic. Both are acceptable. Admirers discover a new kind of power. Clarkson's candor has resonated strongly with a lot of fans. Parents have experience in dealing with loss. Kids who have lost a parent. Families are still working on their own recovery. Her narrative is encouraging because it is authentic, not because it is flawless. A timeline does not exist. No moving on. Simply going forward as a team. 5 months later, remaining strong and recovering, River and Rini are learning how to deal with their sadness without allowing it to define them 5 months after the death of their father. And they're doing it with a mother who doesn't romanticize, hurry, or suppress the process. Kelly Clarkson isn't attempting to project a strong image. She is merely providing her kids with the stability, integrity, and presence they require. And occasionally, that entails holding hands, sitting quietly in the dark, and crying together. Concluding thoughts: Kelly Clarkson didn't provide a soundbite fit for a headline while discussing how her children are doing. She provided something much more significant, an insight into what it's really like to love your children through loss. It's disorganized. It's sentimental. There are a lot of questions with no clear answers in it. However, it's also full of empathy, connection, and love that may support wounded hearts while they mend. The anguish hasn't gone away after 5 months, but neither has hope. And for Kelly Clarkson and her kids, that hope resides in the most basic reality of all: they are not dealing with this on their own.